school. Crystal and I had worked together forever, and we had been out with some friends that evening, one evening, and had some cocktails, and I kind of pitched the idea of doing a casserole company because I had been home with my family. My mother made this amazing meal, but it was all casseroles, and so kind of stuck with me, and I pitched it, and Crystal's like, yeah, let's do it. But we never really kind of thought about it being, it was a way for us to hang out and drink wine.
Oh,
and
that's really valid.
That's really
We're starting a
We're already starting.
We started last night. But then we just had success. It really kind of took off. The city really embraced us. They love everything odd. We dressed like 50s housewives at the time. And then we got picked up by Bobby Flay, and we're on Throwdown with Bobby Flay, and that's where it all kind of, that's where the books thing came in.
So why the 50s?
You know, it harkens back to a time that we both identify with. Our parents were from the 50s. We both come from large families, and it just rang true. There was something about the casserole, one, that had been forgotten. People didn't make them anymore. I think they just kind of put it in a, oh, that's an antique dish. But we wanted to bring it back because it's so amazing. It's economical. It's easy to make. You can fancy it up. You can simple it down, whatever you want. But it's from the 50s. And so we really just sort of adapted all the good from the 50s and left all the...
We kind of, for branding purposes, it was just so much fun, the kitsch factor, to dress up and kind of put a nod to that time when like women actually had time to, you know, feed a full meal to their families. Everyone's so busy and trying to be superwoman these days that it's very difficult to like, you know, go to work, get kids to soccer practice, get a good hot meal on the table. So we were trying to find a way to like make their lives easier, but just also play up that factor of the 50s that's really kind of kitschy and fun and special. I mean, I mean, we have gotten away from eating at the dinner table, with each other, so it's important.
I was gonna say, from like a marketing perspective, do you think it's important for a brand, be it a cookbook or some other kind of brand, to have an aesthetic kind of branded image? Is that, you think that's important for other people too?
I think so. I think it can also be very limiting. I think for me and Sandy, it worked very well for the mission of our business and also for our books, just because they're very family oriented. It made us think about when we were with our families and, you know, the special recipes that made us feel good. And, you know, so that was really special and all tied together really well. But I think when we started moving into doing our webisodes and kind of trying to brand ourselves into a little bit of a different medium, it didn't always make sense to people having us show up in 50s garb and like start cooking, you know, without all the backstory or the explanation of who we were.
We kept joking that we'd do the casserole thing and nod to the 50s, and then when we were tired of it, we would go to the 60s and be the fondue queens. And then we go to the 70s, and, you know, change it every.
Do like the Jello?
Exactly.
Whatever trend of the time.
So, Crystal, tell me, how fun has this journey been?
It's been amazing. I mean, to be able to do it with Sandy, we've always said it's like we make one complete person. I think it would be very difficult to do all of this by yourself, to be thrust into kind of like touring and spotlight and, you know, just not, and trying to run the business all at the same time. With having us to be together, we were able to balance that off, and it's just been really fun to be able to do it with my best friend. It's like be on the Today Show, meet Bobby Flay. It's like and
then we get to go back and go like, what? See what we just did? That was awesome.
I know. It's been an amazing journey, and we would never take, you know, for granted what we were given. It's just a lot about luck, timing, you know, because a lot of people are talented. It's just
we're just more talented.
I mean, no, the right elements just fell into place, so we got to have a fun ride.
So speaking of best friends, one of my best friends is a huge fan of y'all. So you guys have to say hi to Grace Hanks, and she's also sick this week, so you have to say hi.
Grace what?
Grace Hanks.
Hi, Grace Hanks.
Nashville, Tennessee.
Shout out.
Casserole Queens. Andrea was telling me that you make some of the casseroles. Good job. Write to us and tell you what you make, and let us know if you like it.
Yeah. So you guys have written 2 books, and your first book was a New York Times bestseller, which amazing. Congratulations. This bad boy.
The little sticker. That was so exciting.
So precious. And then you had your really successful follow-up book. Do you guys think you're going to continue to write, like co-write books together, or are you kind of reevaluating your trajectory?
Well, you know, we have taken a step back and trying to figure out, we put the business to rest, and then we have been focusing more on recipe development and testing. And we did a little stint with Women's Day magazine. We were an editor for 3 years, so it was like contributing editor. So
We've gotten to do so much amazing stuff. Like we still pinch ourselves all the time.
But I think we would like to move out of casseroles. I mean, Sandy's a classically trained chef, you know, and it's like the casseroles are fun, and they're obviously very dear and near to us.
Sure.
But I think moving forward, it might be nice to see if we could branch out on a different project. You
Yeah.
know, something.
Maybe you could be like the quinoa queen.
Yeah. Or maybe we just do multiple things.
You guys could just be queens.
Crystal and Sandy.
Yeah, that has to be the new title of your next book. Just yes, queen.
I love it.
All of it, queen of all. It'd be
So
fun,
cool.
yeah.
So do you guys think that following blogs is a really helpful thing for somebody who maybe wants to, like, what's a good place to start? Like, you love food, you love to cook, and maybe you have some ideas, but do you guys have some, like, follow this person, learn from them? What do you think?
Oh, I think blogs are an excellent way for a new cook to go because it's so visual as well. You know, it's like, even with our cookbook, I mean, we're not like a top chef and get a picture on every page, you know, so it's like we only have this little insert, and that's what probably the biggest feedback we got. It's like, I really need a picture to see if I'm making it right.
Yeah.
So when you're following a blog, you get to go step by step and know exactly what you're doing, and I think it's open doors for many people.
You know, while we were out on book tour, we had such an opportunity to meet other authors all across, because we would do book festivals and we would do signings here and group stuff here, and so we had an opportunity to meet a lot of people, but one person that we found was Lisa Fain, who's homesick Texan, and she lives out in New York, and she's homesick for Texas, and so she writes this blog about Texas food, and she has this really great cookbooks and blogs stuff out there. But that would be somebody I would say follow, because she's very up to date on what's going on. She has a great voice.
She's a James Beard winner.
She's James Beard winner.
blog,
She knows
yes.
all the big people, but she's great. So we really love Lisa Fain.
Awesome. So I have some friends, and they're amazing cooks, but they're a little too scared to like delve into cookbook making. What kind of advice would you have for those people?
To make a cookbook?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's interesting. It's always been a dream of mine to have a cookbook, and then Crystal really, I don't know that it was a dream of yours, but you've been so supportive, and it became a dream, but it wasn't something you grew up with. But I think when I became a cook, I was like, a cookbook would be amazing. Then when you get into it, you think, oh, it'd be kind of easy. It is really difficult to write a cookbook. Like, I mean, it just takes a lot of time, very specific, just know your food, take the time, test your recipes, do that, and before you kind of go in and write a book, because ours were turned around very quickly, and so we had very tight turnarounds, which we did, and the book is awesome. But I would say if you're gonna do it, like, just take a little bit more time before you kind of get in and get your recipes right.
Yeah.
Were there a lot of recipes that didn't make the cut?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You guys also had a YouTube sort of channel that you were
Yes.
doing. Was it called Hungry?
Hungry.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I checked out some of those videos, and those were great. I especially loved your tomato soup, which was just a Bloody Mary.
Yes.
So that's like
Bloody
my
Mary,
kind of
yes.
soup. But it got me thinking, did y'all take a lot of inspiration from Julia Child? I mean, she's a really funny person to watch who cooks. Do y'all enjoy her videos?
Oh
We
gosh.
did, and I think that we also the PBS, the two fat women.
The two fat ladies.
Have you
Yeah.
seen them? Yeah.
Yeah,
they
we
were
love
big
them.
inspiration. I think it's just because it's like the two of us. It's like it's a little unique because we have our banter and it's fun.
Yeah.
Well, and I love that it's not just cooking. Like, cooking's great. We want to see that information, but like that you're enjoyable to watch and you're funny and you have a personality, and it's not like, and here's the basil.
Right.
Like, that's so great.
Do a lovely chiffon.
So you guys should check out their YouTube channel, Hungry, or just get on YouTube and type in the Casserole Queens. There's lots of funny videos.
We got all kinds of stuff out there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And after this episode, we're going to have a flash sale of Make a Meal on GoRead.com, and we will
right.
have that link for you under the notes, and we'll tell you a little bit about that in just a second.
Yeah, so I think that's so cool. What has been your favorite part of it? Do you enjoy like doing interviews and touring, or is your favorite part like in the kitchen recipe development?
We are people.
Yeah.
We like
can
we
tell.
like we really enjoy the touring. We enjoy the book signings. We enjoy meeting people and kind of talking to people in person.
And
Like,
the
we really like
demonstrations
that.
and things like that, and even interviews like this where we can have a conversation. I always thought it was funny how live television was actually more easy for me than
Yes.
like sitting and trying to just talk into a prompter and like be natural, you know. So it's much more fun, I think,
Yeah.
to engage.
Yeah, for sure. And we enjoy it. We really do. We enjoy the cooking. Don't get me wrong. We love it. We love our wine. We like to hang out. but we enjoyed talking to people. And you guys are precious. Look at your outfit. I love that you dressed up today.
Thank you.
Please take us with you to one of your lessons.
Do you guys have a particular recipe from this book that we're going to flash sale that you could recommend?
I do.
Yeah,
You
go for
do?
it. Go, Cookie.
Well, it's tomato season, right? So there's so many heirloom tomatoes and beautiful produce for you to grab right now.
So the
there-
Bloody Mary.
the Bloody Mary, yes, that's a little separate. That's not in that book. But there's a tomato pie in here that's just very bright and delicious and herbaceous. It's just great.
Fresh, right from the farm, very
Yeah.
delicious, right?
And
for the
really
season.
super simple to put together. So.
Awesome. Okay, we are
We
definitely
need to make this have dinner night
Yes.
today.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining us
Thank
today.
you for having us. We really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
we really enjoyed having you guys on here. You're so fun. And so yeah, we enjoyed learning more about your books. And like I said, we're going to be having this book on flash sale. So they're making
It's great.
Yeah,
99 cents.
That's crazy.
For 19 minutes after this episode, click the link down below in the notes, in the comments, and get your copy for 99 cents right now.
Yes, and you can follow these ladies on social media or find them on YouTube. They are at the Casserole Queens, so check them out and give them some love. And let us know in the comments if you guys have any go-to recipes of your own, or if you've had a chance to check out the Casserole Queens already. So thank you so much for joining
you
us
guys for
today.
having us.
Thanks,
Yes.
We hope everyone has an awesome weekend. I'm Mo.
I'm Andrea.
And Morgan is just off screen. She misses you already. Morgan says bye. All right. Well, we love you guys. And we will be back on Monday, July the 24th at 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central Time. Until then, keep reading, writing, and being awesome. I know we will. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, y'all. That was fun.